This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Time right now is 4:27 here on our Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us on RTV6. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. We begin with a story we've been following for more than a year now. Alyssa Shepard, the woman accused of hitting and killing the 3 children you see behind us, will be in court today to learn her sentencing.
Yeah, we're learning that she is facing 21 and a half years in prison for hitting and killing those children at a bus stop going around a stop arm up in Fulton County. We'll continue to keep you updated on this case. It's really been a year in the making. We know that since that happened, there's been a number of safety measures that have been put in place. School districts rethinking how they do their bus drop-offs and pickups after this tragedy. So we will keep you updated there from Fulton County.
We are nearing the end of the year, which often brings a homicide total for the city of Indianapolis, which is shocking. And it's not only shocking to the public, but it's also shocking to the families who are personally affected by this. So we are looking into what IMPD is doing about the number of unsolved cases.
Yeah, and we know that there are 147 homicides so far, and several of those remain unsolved. And so families gathered overnight at a church pleading for answers. If anyone knows anything that could help bring some justice, solve these cases, please speak up to help police out. They're still looking into all of those unsolved cases from this past year. So we'll be keeping you updated on those numbers and that story. Right now, we do want to take a turn to our forecast to bring in Alyssa Donovan and talk about what we can see out there. You had a busy 2 days to start the week.
Yes.
Alyssa, today seems a little bit quieter so far.
Yeah, so we're going to see things calm down over the next couple days. However, now that the snow is over, we do have the cold settling in. So today, starting out a little cooler than we did yesterday. Those temperatures in the 20s for the most part, some areas starting in the teens. It feels a little bit colder than that because that wind chill is more like 7 degrees this morning. So that's what it feels like as you step outside. Temperatures today only climbing into the mid-20s. So we are going to be well below average for this time of year. We could see a few flurries outside this morning. We just have a passing system that's going to move through. Besides that, though, we'll start with cloudy skies, and then we will see some sunshine by the afternoon, similar to what we saw yesterday. Tomorrow morning is the day that we're concerned about when it comes to cold temperatures, because we are going to see those wind chills below 0. We're also going to see those temperatures in the single digits. So tomorrow is the day that you should really be bundling up as you step outside, because that's that dangerous cold that we talk about this time of year.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. And finally, if you're on Facebook, there's a good chance you've seen a post like this circulating.
It is about what do you need that you can't afford, and then what do you have laying around that you could give. And it's connecting people in local communities saying, hey, I need this. And someone says, hey, I have one of those at my house. Don't buy it. I'll bring it to you. So it's a really great story ahead of the Christmas season. Kelsey Anderson will have that for you coming up right here on Good Morning Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 4:30 on Good Morning Indiana, the woman convicted of killing 3 children at a Fulton County bus stop is scheduled to be sentenced today.
Plus, the holidays can be tough for those who have lost a loved one. Now a local church is stepping up to spread comfort and hope with a new tradition.
A program that helps Indianapolis residents access affordable, healthy food. We'll have the details on this growing partnership between the city and the rideshare company Lyft. But first, here at 4:30, we want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Alyssa Donovan here with us. And you get a bit of a break today, Alyssa.
Yes.
But unfortunately, that comes with temperatures that are going to be very, very cold.
That's right. So we're cooling off quite a bit today, and then tomorrow's going to be a really chilly start. Tomorrow we will be in the single digits with the temperatures. Wind chills will be below 0 tomorrow. So tomorrow's the morning we're really concerned about. Today, though, it is a little bit colder than we started yesterday. We are right around 20 degrees in Indianapolis, 23 in Muncie. It's 17 degrees in Richmond. Feels a little colder than that when you step outside because of that wind chill, which is right around 7 degrees right now in Indianapolis, 10 degrees in Muncie. So just be aware of that. We have this west-northwesterly wind that's helping bring in cooler air. We've had high pressure in control overnight. We are going to see a quick disturbance move through today that will just bring us the potential of a few light flurries this morning and some cloud coverage to start our day. As we head through the afternoon, though, we are going to see those clouds clear out and we're going to see plenty of sunshine later this afternoon. Those temperatures, though, not going to warm too much. We're going to stay in the 20s throughout the day, only climbing close to about 25 degrees. So it is going to be a very chilly day. Much colder tomorrow, though. I'll have all those details coming up in the full forecast.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Here is a live look right now at traffic on the south side of town, I-65 and I-465. Finally, after 2 days of weather impacting your morning drive, today should be much smoother. This is a look here where traffic is moving along up to speed. So let's take a turn up to the northeast side. Things are moving along just fine at I-69 and I-465, the ramp system there on the northeast side. We'll continue to keep a close eye out for any crashes or delays that might slow you down. But right now, everything around the metro is traveling up to speed.
Today, the woman convicted of hitting and killing 3 children at a Fulton County bus stop last year is scheduled to be sentenced. Alyssa Shepard is facing up to 21.5 years in prison. Siblings Olivia Stahl and her 2 brothers, Mason and Xavier Engel, died. Another child, Maverick Lowe, was also injured in the crash. In October, Shepard was found guilty on 3 counts of reckless homicide, 1 count of passing a school bus causing injury, and 1 count of criminal recklessness resulting in serious injury. Her sentencing is scheduled for this afternoon.
Funeral services are set for former Gary Mayor Richard Hatcher. He died last week at the age of 86. Hatcher was 34 when he was elected into office back in 1967, becoming one of the first black mayors in a major U.S. city. He later became a political force for African Americans, organizing the 1972 National Black Political Convention and serving as a chairman of Jesse Jackson's Democratic presidential campaign back in 1984 and vice chairman 4 years later. Hatcher will lie in repose at the Gary Convention Center Friday from noon until 8 o'clock. Funeral services will begin at 1 o'clock on Saturday.
A group of Indianapolis families is looking back on a year of loss. So far this year, Metro Police have investigated 147 homicides, and many of those cases remain unsolved. One of the crimes was the deadly shooting of Shane Spells. The 24-year-old was shot and killed in his own driveway over Labor Day weekend. Last night, Shane's name was one of several read at a vigil hosted by the Grace Apostolic Church and IMPD. Families gathered at the church made a plea for anyone with information on any of the unsolved cases to come forward with information.
It's rough, because that's all we think about, you know, because we don't know who's who. Like my husband said, we go to the mall, and we don't know if the person is walking right past us, you know. We don't know. The unknown is real scary.
IMPD detectives tell us Shane's case is far from cold and is still an active investigation. If you have any information, you are asked to call IMPD detectives, or you can leave an anonymous tip by dialing 317-262-TIPS.
We talk about joy and celebration this time of year, but the holidays can also be a challenge for those dealing with things like grief, depression, or a family crisis. That's why One Central Indiana Church is starting a new tradition. Last night, Reverend Katie Griffin with Speedway Christian Church led the first Blue Christmas service, where those who are dealing with loss and grief can come for encouragement and support.
Those feelings that you're having are okay. They're not uncommon. We are here with you and praying for you and loving for you and encouraging you to seek anyone that you might feel comfortable talking with.
The church says the service is a good reminder for everyone to check up on those in your life who may be dealing with loss.
Indianapolis public school teachers and staff will have bigger paychecks to look forward to just in time for the holidays. Millions of dollars in IPS pay raises will begin this week. The school district approved $31 million for raises last month. The money comes from a multi-million-dollar referendum approved by voters to help the district retain quality staff. Of the $31 million, $30 will go to teacher pay, and the remaining $1 million will go to other school staff.
And speaking of IPS, Superintendent Alicia Johnson says that she's waiting for the State Board of Education to determine who will get control of Emma Donnan Middle School, Howe High School, and Manual High School. Johnson said if IPS regains control of the schools, the district will likely seek out partnerships with third parties. For example, IPS has shown interest in having Crystal House operate out of Manual. A final decision from the Department of Education is expected next month.
A program that helps Indianapolis residents access grocery stores is expanding. The Lyft Grocery Access Program kicked off over the summer as part of Mayor Hogshead's plan to help people living in food deserts. Since then, dozens of people living on the Far East Side have taken more than 1,000 rides to grocery stores, paying just $1 each way. Today, the mayor and community leaders will announce the program is expanding to the west side of the city. An estimated 200,000 Indianapolis residents live in food deserts with limited access to fresh, healthy, and affordable food options.
It is 4:36. Indiana State Troopers rushed into action to save a dog who was wandering on a local interstate after escaping from a wrecked vehicle. State police say that a car ran off I-465 on the west side around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, rolling several times. Troopers say that a dog named Poppy escaped and began walking on that busy interstate. State police and INDOT used traffic cameras to find Poppy on 465. They closed a lane of traffic and got the dog back in their car. Poppy, we can tell you, is doing okay, and the driver of the car is recovering. So glad everyone's okay.
Very good ending to that story.
Yeah. Well, the House of Representatives is expected to make a historic vote to impeach President Trump today. We're going to have the very latest from Capitol Hill straight ahead.
That family is fixing to have a wonderful Christmas. They just got the best Christmas present they'll ever get in their entire life.
2 Florida kids at the center of an Amber Alert and now back with their loved ones. Where they were found and what police believe happened. Alyssa.
Well, we are done with the snow for now, but now the cold is settling in. I'll tell you what to expect over the next few days coming up.
Visit your local Chase branch.
The Democratic-led U.S. House of Representatives is expected to vote on whether to impeach President Trump today, setting up a trial in a Republican-controlled Senate. Ahead
of that historic vote, the president sending an extraordinary personal 6-page letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, railing against what he calls an illegal partisan attempted coup. ABC's Inez de la Cuttera is on Capitol Hill with more.
Capping off months of investigation and weeks of public hearings, today the U.S. House of Representatives is set to impeach President Trump, just the 3rd time in U.S. history that's ever happened. President Trump is accused of obstructing Congress and abusing the power of his office for personal gain when he pressured the leader of Ukraine to investigate his political opponents.
And Mr. President, do you take any responsibility for the fact that you're about to be impeached?
No, I don't take any, zero, to put it mildly.
In a scathing 6-page letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the president slamming impeachment, calling it an illegal partisan attempted coup and accusing Pelosi of declaring open war on American democracy, and adding more due process was afforded to those accused in the Salem witch trials. Speaker Pelosi responding on CNN, calling the letter ridiculous.
I haven't really fully read it. We've been working. I've seen the essence of it, though, and it's really sick.
And in her own letter to Democrats, writing, "If we do not act, we will be derelict in our duty." After a procedural vote, House members will get one last chance to debate the 2 formal articles of impeachment. They'll have 6 hours to do so, with time equally split between parties. The final vote will be held immediately after and is expected to pass along party lines, with even many moderate Democrats from Trump swing districts coming out in support of impeachment.
I wasn't elected to do what's politically safe. I was elected to do what I think is right.
Lawmakers are now looking ahead to that impending Senate trial. Democrats want to hear from 4 witnesses that the White House had blocked from testifying, including acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney and former National Security Advisor John Bolton. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has already indicated he has no intention to call witnesses. Inez de la Cuttera, ABC News on Capitol Hill.
A Christmas miracle. That's how police are describing the outcome of a massive manhunt for 2 Florida children who were missing for days. 6-year-old Braxton Williams and his 5-year-old sister Bria vanished from their front yard in Jacksonville Sunday morning. Their disappearance triggered an Amber Alert and a massive law enforcement response, including canines, dive teams, and drones. Tuesday afternoon, a group of rescuers found the siblings in a dilapidated pump house in a wooded area. And despite being lost for more than 2 days, investigators say the children seem to be in good health.
They're lively and talkative, and asked for a cheese pizza that we quickly delivered to them. So they're currently at a local hospital for observation. But besides being a little bit dehydrated and a couple bumps of bruises, they're in good shape.
Wow. Authorities believe the 2 just wandered off.
Well, we're glad that they're okay. But what was supposed to be the best day of a bride's life ended up in tragedy. Police say that these two men, 28-year-old Ronnie Castaneda Ramirez and 19-year-old Jose Castaneda Ramirez, were uninvited guests at a California wedding reception. As the last of the guests were leaving, witnesses say they noticed the men trying to get free alcohol. That's when a fight broke out with several family members, including the groom, 30-year-old Joe Melgoza, who chased after the men. He was found a short distance away, suffering from a head injury. Melgoza was taken to the hospital where he later died. He leaves behind his new bride and an 11-year-old daughter.
New Zealand police say the bodies of two people who went missing after last week's deadly volcanic eruption may never be found. The victims are 17-year-old Australian tourist Winona Langford and 40-year-old Hayden Marshall Inman, who was a tour guide. Authorities believe their bodies washed out to sea. Police Deputy Commissioner Mike Clement says a dive squad and helicopters will continue to search for a day or two, but he does not expect the two to be found. 18 people died following the eruption. 14 people remain in hospitals around New Zealand. 12 others have been transferred to Australian hospitals.
Pope Francis has issued a declaration to lift Vatican secrecy rules for sex abuse cases. The move will allow the Catholic Church to provide documents related to sex abuse cases to authorities. Victims will also be able to stay in the loop about some of the outcomes of their cases in the Vatican. The declaration leaves in place privacy rules around reporting sex abuse. The Pope also changed the Vatican's definition of child pornography, increasing the age of the suspect from 14 or under to 18 or under.
An ancient piece of chewing gum discovered in Denmark is giving scientists new insight into the Stone Age. Amazingly, there was viable DNA found in a hunk of birch pitch, which functioned like chewing gum. From the DNA results, scientists were able to paint a picture of the young girl who chewed it 5,700 years ago. The scientists named the girl Lola. She had blue eyes, dark skin, and dark hair. They found out her last meal was mallard duck and hazelnuts, and she was lactose intolerant. And even though she lived in Scandinavia, she more closely is related to the hunter-gatherers on the European mainland. This is the first time ancient DNA has been extracted from something other than bone. Researchers hope to use this technology to revolutionize our understanding of our ancient ancestors.
Well,
that
crazy.
is incredible. Yeah. Wow. All right, something else incredible is that the snow finally stopped.
Yes.
But unfortunately, we are dipping into some very cold temps.
That's right, Meredith. So we are done with the snow falling for a little while, but it's not going anywhere. What has fallen, because we are seeing those temperatures below freezing over the next couple days here. Today, it is going to be a quiet weather day. We're starting with just a little bit of cloud coverage. We'll see some clearing this afternoon. Temperatures, though, are below average, and we are going to continue to cool down overnight. We're going to see a bitter cold start to our Thursday. Those temperatures will be into the single digits, and we are going to see sub-zero wind chills tomorrow morning. Mild temperatures, though, by the weekend. We're going to be under a southerly flow that will help usher in some warm air once again, just in time for the weekend. Today, starting in the 20s, we'll drop a few more degrees as we head through the morning, likely into the teens here in Indianapolis. We are seeing a few light flurries out there. We have this west-northwesterly wind that's helping usher in that colder, drier air from the north. Kokomo at 25 this morning, Bloomington at 20. Likely those areas will drop down a little bit yet this morning as well. That wind chill out of the west-northwest, making it feel a little colder, more like 7 degrees right now in Indianapolis. So you definitely need to bundle up this morning, but tomorrow morning is going to be much colder than what we're seeing today. We are seeing just a little bit of fog developing just to the southwest of Indianapolis this morning. We're down to just 4 miles of visibility in Indianapolis, so just be aware of that as you head out. We are going to see that burn off as we head through the day, because we are going to see plenty of sunshine by this afternoon. Right now, we do have just a quick disturbance moving through. That's bringing us cloudy skies to start our Wednesday, and just a few light flurries possible this morning. That will clear out quickly, though. As we head into the noon hour, we'll start to see partly sunny skies. Those temperatures climbing into the mid-20s. Really, that's as warm as we're going to get today, even though we are going to see sunshine by this afternoon and some. Looking ahead to tomorrow morning, temperatures are dropping way off. We're going to see that high pressure continue to build in from the north, and we will see those temperatures in the single digits by tomorrow morning. Those wind chills will be below zero, close to 2 below zero here in Indy. So tomorrow morning is the bitter cold day that we are worried about. Temperatures will recover quickly, though, by tomorrow afternoon. 36 degrees for our high on Thursday. We are going to see plenty of sunshine throughout Thursday as well. And then you can see as we head towards the the weekend, those temperatures continue to climb. We are above average this weekend with sunshine in the forecast and clear conditions. By the time we are rolling up to those holidays, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we are going to be above average with those temperatures.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Here's a look right now at your traffic in the downtown area. I-65 at Washington Street. Traffic's moving along up to speed northbound and southbound. No issues in downtown to slow you down. So let's take a look out to our west near the airport ramps. I-70 here, a little west of FedEx. You can see traffic in that direction is moving along up to speed. So if you're catching a flight, maybe dropping someone off at the airport this morning, you shouldn't have any problems getting there.
Google has unveiled its version of iMessage for Android phones in the U.S. The new service is called Chat. It has tools that mirror Apple iMessage, including red receipts, a symbol that indicates when you are typing, and the ability to send higher resolution images and videos on Android devices. To get it, Android users need to update both their Messages app and, in some cases, their carrier services. And like Apple's iMessage, Android users can opt into the service or disable it if they don't want it.
A toy maker in Pennsylvania is introducing its first female soldier figurine. BMC Toys in Scranton is one of the nation's largest toy makers of those little green army men. The company says the response was overwhelming after it added one little green woman to the lineup. So it was a no-brainer to expand the line, which will soon include 12 figurines of women in combat. The first full line of female soldiers is expected to be available for Christmas next year.
A group of friends on a mission to bring joy to a stranger this holiday season stopped into a New Jersey restaurant and surprised a waitress. How they served up a generous dose of kindness to a deserving single mom.
And coming up all new at 5 o'clock, it's a holiday season. That means people are getting into the spirit of giving. Our Kelsey Anderson will join us live with a look at a viral grassroots effort that's connecting the community and helping local people who are in need. But first,
I'm Vinny Politan. Today on Court TV, we're covering a case out of Iowa. Cheyenne Harris, a young mother, has been charged in the death of her 4-month-old son, Sterling Daniel Cohen. Harris's defense says she suffered from depression and drug addiction, but will that sway a jury to have mercy on her? The child's father has already been convicted for his crimes. We'll bring you the most compelling moments in this tragic case today on Court TV.
And don't forget, you can watch the all-new Court TV live on your mobile device by visiting CourtTV.com. We'll be right back.
Credit card and feel the rush at JCPenney.
A college basketball player returned to the court after undergoing several grueling months of cancer treatment. Pittsburgh women's basketball player Kyla Nelson was diagnosed with neuroendocrine tumor of the appendix in August. She had surgery in October. Tuesday, the junior guard played in her first game since being diagnosed. And before the game, there was no question she was ready to play. Just take a look at this one-handed half-court shot she sinks without looking. She played 13 minutes, scoring 3 points. She also tallied 2 assists and grabbed 1 rebound.
Awesome. I love that. Well, a server at a New Jersey IHOP was the lucky recipient of a very generous tip this past weekend. What started out as a regular shift for Angelica Alicia ended with tears of joy. She was just 2 hours into her workday when she took on a party of 12. When it came time to settle the bill, the group gave her a $1,200 tip. Angelica says that she thought it was a mistake and tried to give the money back, but they told her keep the money and said Merry Christmas. Angelica, who is a single mom of 2 girls, says that money will allow them to rest easy this holiday season.
It means a lot, you know, especially when you work day to day, not knowing, you know, if you'll be able to provide for the next day.
Well, that group is part of an annual nationwide trend called Shock and Claws, where customers leave huge tips for deserving waiters and waitresses. I've never even heard of that group.
Neither have I.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good for her. All right, we do want to bring in Alyssa Donovan right now. Talk about the forecast as we're getting closer and closer to Christmas. Alyssa, what can we expect today?
So today we are starting a little colder this morning than what we were yesterday. We're in the 20s right now. We're seeing those temperatures drop off a few degrees yet this morning, so likely we'll be in the teens as you step outside. Feels even colder than that because of the wind chill, which makes it feel a little bit more like the single digits. Temperatures today only climbing into the 20s. Much colder to start tomorrow morning with sub-zero wind chills. Then we are back into the 40s by the weekend.